Hello, and welcome to Rain's Cryptids, Myths, and Folklore. I'm your host, Rain, and today we are going to learn what we can about this cryptid. So let's begin. Today we are going to talk about the Sphinxes. When you think of the Sphinx, you of course think of the Great Sphinx of Giza in Egypt. Well, there are way more than just that one. The Sphinxes are all over the place, from Egypt, Greece, South Asia, South India, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Europe, Burma, and even the Freemasons use it. Its general description is the head of a human and the body of a lion. Sometimes it has wings of a bird. It is usually associated with supposed tombs and supposed religious temples. It was considered a guard. The word Sphinx is from Greek meaning to squeeze or to tighten up. It is believed it's from the way a lion kills its prey, by squeezing its prey's throat. Of course, the most famous one and largest is the Great Sphinx of Giza, although having the truth on how old it is, well, far as I'm concerned, it is still unknown and is older than what is said. Information of the true whys of the Sphinx is unknown with the long-gone civilization. The Greeks' description is the same, but with a woman's head, eagle wings, and a serpent's tail, and of course, lion's body. It was on coins, seals, emblems from 6th century BC to 3rd century AD in the ancient city-state Chios. Also, with Greek knowledge of the Sphinx, as it too is lost with time, Asian Sphinx is still very much alive since its civilization does still exist. The Sphinx's job varies from area to area. It was either for temples or for tombs, or to get forgiveness, even to protect royal babies from being devoured by female ogres. In the end, it was all a form of protection. Now, there is the riddle of the Sphinx. This is mainly mentioned in the Greek version, guarding the entrance of Thebes. It asks a riddle to travelers to allow them passage. The early tales of the Sphinx do not specify the riddles used, but in later tales she would ask which creature has one voice and yet becomes 4-footed and 2-footed and 3-footed. If you couldn't figure the answer out, she would strangle and devour you. One did answer it correctly. Man who crawls on all fours as a baby, then walks on 2 feet as an adult, and then uses a walking stick in old age. By some accounts, there was a second riddle. There are 2 sisters. One gives birth to the other, and she in turn gives birth to the first. Who are the sisters? The answer is day and night. This second riddle is also found in a Gascon version of the myth and could be very ancient. They say the Sphinx died after its riddle was solved. I believe its magic was basically undone by solving the riddle. Let me explain. The Sphinx may not be awake nowadays, but it could if we only knew how to. I believe it was magically brought into this world as a guardian. When conjured, it does its bidding of its conjurer. Of course, when the conjurer dies, it probably disappears as well. So basically, it uses its owner's energy, or at least the energy that is put into the spell. We don't know these things because it does not fit the narrative. Now, when there is a riddle that humans had to solve to enter, the spell is broken when the answer is correct, and the Sphinx goes back to wherever it came from. Why do we still have statues of them? Well, it only came to life when there was someone it had to deal with, so it looked of stone otherwise. When it returned to where it came from, it left its stone self behind to remind us of their power. Now, if all of them used riddles, well, who actually knows? But I probably would have been killed, as I suck at riddles. The Sphinx is a unique cryptid that was conjured for protection. I wonder what happened to the spell that created them. And that's what I have on the Sphinx. I know this may be a short one, and I do apologize, but sometimes we've got to do them short and sweet. Please like and subscribe, share as well, and if you have a sighting that you would like to share, please email me. My email is in the descriptions below. All that I share on video will be done anonymously. Also, if you have a cryptid that you would like for me to do a video on, please leave a comment or email me. Now, it's time for Superstition for Thought. And today's thought is Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is considered an unlucky day. It occurs at least once every year, but can happen up to 3 times in a year on the Gregorian calendar. You can always tell that a month has a Friday the 13th if the month starts on a Sunday. According to folklore, the unlucky nature of the number 13 originated with Norse myths that 12 gods having a dinner party in Valhalla. Loki, who was not invited, arrived as the 13th guest. Loki caused the death of one of the gods, which caused the whole earth to go dark, to which it is considered an unlucky number and day. Christians relate it to the Last Supper and crucifixion of Jesus. Most of the rest of this unlucky day stems from the 19th century, from a play in 1834, biography of Rossini, who died on Friday the 13th, 1868. But there's also a novel, Friday the 13th, although the number 13 is spelled out. Greeks and Spanish-speaking countries consider Tuesday the 13th to be bad luck. Tuesday is dominated by Ares, the god of war in Greece. Also in Greek, the meaning of the day is considered to be the 3rd day of the week, adding the weight to the superstition of bad luck comes in 3s. In Italy, it's Friday the 17th to be unlucky. It is a young superstition, but people have a lot of fear with this one. In the late 19th century, a New Yorker tried to remove this stigma surrounding the number 13 by founding an exclusive society called the 13 Club. Although I wonder if that reason for starting the club is correct. You know, the narrative and all. But 4 U.S. presidents, Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, and Roosevelt, were a part of this club. Nonetheless, we are probably going to keep this superstition no matter where it comes from. So, on Friday the 13th, stay safe, as the next day comes swiftly. And that's what I have for this Superstition for Thought. Thank you for joining me for this cryptid journey. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next week.